Welcome to everyone. Thank you very much for coming. This is an important event for us because what it actually does is mark the start of the 90th anniversary of this foundation. In doing so, one of the key elements as far as the foundation is concerned is to look at inspiring philanthropy. And without the presence of you people, none of that can occur. So thank you for your time. In addition, I'd like to welcome our overseas visitors, 3 in particular. They call themselves the 3 Amigos, but I don't think we've had 3 Amigos from previous business acquaintances, but these people have got a different outlook on things as opposed to others. So very much welcome to Richard Fahey, to Peter Hero, and to Dipenda Saluja. So thank you very much for making your way up to Australia, and especially to Melbourne, so thank you for that. I'd also like to extend a welcome to Rosemary Addis. Rosemary has been instrumental in putting together a whole new look as far as philanthropy is concerned, and that's called impact investing. So if you haven't had the opportunity, I think it was only released last month. It's well worth going to the federal government's website, and it is a remarkable piece of work, and I think once again it just shows what innovation Australia is actually doing. I know it's already in the world, but I think we're leading the way in many respects in this area as well, and it's something I think we could all take a very good look at as far as the future of investment is concerned. As I said, today starts our 90th anniversary. It's a significant achievement because in 1923, one of the Lord Mayors, or the Lord Mayor of the day, who was Sir John Swanston, brought this foundation together. Since then, we have grown into an organisation which I like to think is one of the leaders as far as Australia is concerned. We have a corpus of over or around 140 million today. That is quite significant in any foundation's terms. Each year we give away around $9 million, and the part of that which I'm proud of is that extends out to about 450 charities here in the Melbourne, Victorian region. When I say that, it sounds a big number, but I just don't want you to get the impression that the work that money goes to is not measurable. It is measurable as far as the foundation is concerned, and that's one of the key elements as far as our granting is concerned. But the output and the outcomes of much of that granting is in my view, immeasurable. The good that you people and others do in the community is so important to the future of the nation, as Joy was referring to before. So I won't talk anymore because the most important thing is the people that are here today to take you through some of the new directions as far as investing and philanthropy is concerned. I'd now like to introduce our CEO, Catherine Brown, who will give you a little bit more of the history and the direction as far as the foundation is concerned. Thank you very much.
I just really wanted to set the scene from the foundation's point of view and start by saying, what do you do when you turn 90? First of all, you reflect on what you've achieved and what you've learned, and then you look forward to what comes next. And just because you've been around for a while doesn't mean that you don't have a spring in your step. I saw a wonderful photograph of a 90-year-old fashion blogger in Vogue the other day, and I thought, that's us, 90 years old and still fabulous. Yeah. So I wanted to just give you an overview of some of the steps the foundation has taken in relation to social investment. And this conversation is part of our journey, and we want it to be an opportunity for the foundation and our colleagues in philanthropy to say, yes, we've had some wins, but how can we have bigger wins? How can we make more impact on the community issues that concern us? We know we need to use all the tools in the philanthropy toolbox, and we also know we need to work in collaboration to make more of a difference. But first of all, I just thought I'd talk about social enterprises for a moment. So we have invested in supporting social enterprises for a number of years. And last year we reviewed our responsive grants program and added capacity building to the program, and that is supporting quite a number of social enterprises at start-up and at scaling up phases, which are both times that not-for-profits, especially social enterprises, need a lot of support. And just recently, Anita Hopkins and I visited the UCAN Cafe, which is a social enterprise run by Uralla at the Wyndham Library, and it is about to expand into a second location at the Williamstown Library. The young people with a range of disabilities demonstrated fantastic hospitality skills, and it was great to talk with them about the changes in their lives that working at the cafe had brought to them, and to see them serving all these kids and locals after their library visits. And they had so much charm and so much attention to detail. It was a really lovely morning. I've advised social enterprises of all sorts since working as an in-house lawyer with the MS Society in the late 1980s, which I guess does age me a bit, but I mean, it's been an area of great interest to me. I understand what the employment opportunities can mean for people, and I also understand what the untagged revenue can mean for not-for-profit organisations. And I also know that some elements of the start-up and scaling up phases are not sexy. They might need a big commercial kitchen, a new truck, a revised business plan, or help preparing documents to obtain other forms of social investment. However, these fairly mundane things perhaps are all critical in building a viable and sustainable enterprise. So nothing is too boring. Send us all your most boring applications and we will look at them. Turning to another area, as many of you would know, in recent times the Foundation has also made significant investments in tackling homelessness. We made 2 signature grants totalling $2,626,000 to the Salvation Army for the Road Home project and the Sacred Heart Mission for the Journey to Social Inclusion. And we've used our role as an independent convener to help influence policy and government funding for both these projects. And as part of planning for our work in preventing homelessness, we held a think tank on affordable housing in October last year and brought a fascinating group of experts together from social housing, affordable housing, policy, real estate, finance, social finance and banking, I must admit, architecture and urban planning, to advise the Foundation on where we could best make an impact. And based on this work, we've committed to testing the feasibility of an affordable housing demonstration project, and this conversation is part of helping us move fully into the feasibility study phase. How can we add value in this area beyond grants through loans, guarantees, shared equity, community land trusts or other social finance products we haven't yet thought of? Shane Austin is developing a diverse group of partners and advisors for this project, and I would particularly like to acknowledge the Chair of the Foundation's Investment Subcommittee, Tony Connon, who will be joining us a little later, for his leadership in supporting our next steps in this area. Increasing our impact is about thoughtful grant making, but it's also about how we invest. Last year we developed an ethical investment policy, which we're now implementing. We commissioned an external review of our Australian equities portfolio and now obtain CAER, which is Corporate Analysis Enhanced Responsibility, reports on new buy recommendations. We've had 7 so far, and it's led to many interesting discussions and the divestment of one holding. I would like to thank our pro bono investment advisors UBS, Wilson HTM and JB Weir for working with us in this area so positively and for increasingly recommending investments that align with our mission, for example in health. The Foundation's new strategic plan allows for up to 5% of our total investment portfolio to be invested in finance products that have a social and financial return. As Rob mentioned, our corpus actually today is $149.5 million. This is potentially a powerful opportunity, especially as we think about the affordable housing demonstration project. Our grants program is a balanced portfolio of supporting programs addressing current needs and investing in long-term social change initiatives through major and proactive grants and our community initiatives in 3 areas we've worked in for many years and another one that we've worked in various ways but we're adding to, and they are affordable housing, youth, ageing in a multicultural community and food security. We are applying a catalytic or venture philanthropy approach to our longer term work, which requires a lot of due diligence and the need to work closely with partners. So that is a quick gallop through our recent work in social investment, and we're looking forward to hearing from our 3 guest experts and having a dynamic conversation with you all. The conversation will have been a success from my point of view if we all leave with at least 3 new practical ideas that we can implement in our own foundations. Although knowing Peter, Richard and Dipenda, we'll probably have 300 ideas. I'd now like to introduce Peter Hero, the former CEO of the Silicon Valley Community Foundation, a board member of the Skoll Foundation and an advisor to many community foundations around the world. He is a great friend to many of us here in Australia, and I first met him 2001. He's just been an inspiration ever since to community philanthropy in Australia. He will introduce Richard Fay, the Chief Operating Officer of the Skoll Foundation, and Dipenda Saluja, the Managing Director of Capricorn Investment Group, in more detail during the session. So it's an honour to have you all with us today and look forward to a great afternoon. Thank you.